Washington Grown is brought to you by the Potato Farmers of Washington. Learn why Washington is home to the world's most productive potato fields and farmers by visiting potatoes.com. Also brought to you by Northwest Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities with reliable, consistent credit and financial services today and tomorrow. And by the Washington Turfgrass Seed Commission, helping our farmers produce the highest quality turfgrass seed in the world.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Gordson and welcome to Washington Grown. Here in Washington, researchers and farmers are working together to push what's possible, developing the best technology for our farms. So in this episode of Washington Grown, we're going to be talking all about agriculture innovation. Val's taking a trip to Carnation Farms.
And if you gobble, sometimes they gobble back.
Oh, I gotta try that. Gobble, 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 gobble.
And I'm making watermelon poke at Root in Spokane. I'm going to cut the tips of my glove off.
The sacrifice we all make.
No.
Losing your fingertips for pretty garnish.
Plus, Tomas is trying out some chicken and waffles at Lil Red's.
Every time I take a bite out of his food, it's like taking a bite out of heaven.
All this and more today on Washington Grown. This is harder than it looks. It's a little baby pig. That's really, really good, Pete.
That's a little party in a little glass.
Well, hello there. Gobble, 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 gobble. Oh!
No TV bites here. I'm going to dig in. Cheers, cheers, cheers. There's no shortage of delicious, innovative food here in Spokane, and here at Root, they're getting even more creative. Their plant-based menu inspires healthy, vegan-friendly options that will satisfy just about anyone.
It's really interesting how they marry all these different flavors together.
We've definitely seen people who are very confused by the fact that it was vegan because they didn't fully believe it.
I've never had anything like it. I love it.
I'm not even the one to eat like anything like that, but I'm in love.
It was important to us to create a space that felt comfortable and welcoming to all walks of life, but also was interesting and fun and different.
Co-owner and chef Josh Lorenzen designed Root to be a place for everyone to enjoy, no matter what kind of diet they follow.
When we decided to make a plant-based restaurant, we knew that there would be a lot of people that were kind of apprehensive about vegan or a lack of meat or a lack of cheese or these things. So we wanted to make stuff that was at home for other people and felt comfortable.
This is really calm and relaxing.
It's very hip looking. From the minute I walked in, I loved the place.
People have received it really well, of all types, all different walks and diets. And it's not really a vegan thing, it's just another fun restaurant.
Don't miss later in the show when Chef Josh and I make some special watermelon poke.
That is the one downside to the watermelon part about it is that fish does not have seeds, so it's very obviously not
Yeah.
fish.
Today, I'm in Carnation at Carnation Farms. As a child, I visited this farm on a field trip, and I have to say, it's good to be back.
Carnation Farms has over 118 acres of land.
Nadia Oaks is the co-director of Carnation Farms. When it first started in the early 1900s, the farm was a dairy. Now they're a nonprofit farm seeking to educate people about the food system.
Currently, we're here to teach and educate people about sustainable agriculture, how food is grown, and have kids come out into the field and learn where their food comes from.
I think it's inspiring people to eat better.
Rosie Schmidt is the director of agriculture education on the farm. She works with the kids and does tours of the grounds.
Anytime we can excite folks about the food system and get them excited about food, it's very satisfying.
They can work in the field, they can harvest that vegetable, they can cook it, they can eat it, they can enjoy it. So they get to experience the whole food system.
First on our tour today, Farmer Rosie took me to see some baby turkeys.
So this is 60 baby turkeys, and they're a week old.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen this site before.
So they stay in here for like 6 to 8 weeks until they're fully feathered because they can't regulate their temperatures. That's why there's heat lamps.
Oh my gosh, hello there. Hey, look at you, you're Washington grown.
Next, Rosie showed me the baby chicks.
I've never seen a sight like this. This is just amazing.
Aren't they so cute? And these ones are super chill. So that's a week old.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, he's so chill.
I know.
We keep giving them bigger space as well. The older they get, the more space they get in here. So sometimes this whole room will be completely full of babies.
Now we're heading out to the fields to see the full-grown turkeys.
So the land of the turkeys.
Right, they're all destined for Thanksgiving dinners.
All right.
They come out of the brooder and they live the rest of their lives on pasture. So we move this electric fencing around and they'll graze and eat down the forage and the grasses and clover and stuff. And if you gobble, sometimes they gobble back.
Oh, well, gobble, 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 gobble.
So you speak turkey.
My bird.
There you go.
Look at you, aren't you?
Yeah, they're very, very curious.
Next, we headed over to collect some eggs from the chicken coop.
Welcome to the Starship Henterprise. They're a little grumbly when they're laying eggs. So you just lift up the perch and open up this. They roll out into these catchment trays and then we collect them from there.
Okay, this is fun. Yes, thank you. Oh, well, hello there.
Carnation Farms is more than just a farm. It's an experience.
Many people come here and they may pick up a fistful of kale for the first time in their lives when they're little. They might come back here because they were here when they were young. There's so many people that this place touches.
Teaching kids at summer camp that artichokes have hearts or they taste something different and they like it.
On a sunny day, on a rainy day, it's just absolutely gorgeous and it's inspiring to be around really smart farmers and a really good team of people that are growing delicious food.
What's better than chicken and waffles? Well, nothing really. Today I'm at Lil Red's Takeout and Catering to see what Washington-grown food and a little soul can create in the kitchen.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Red Jackson, the owner of Lil Red's Takeout and Catering, and I hear you're making some awesome chicken and waffles.
I'll let everybody else determine whether they're awesome or not, but I think they're pretty good myself.
Red's Chicken and Waffles aren't just any old breakfast food. They're truly something special.
So we do a jerk fried chicken and a sweet plantain waffle where we actually fry up the plantains and put them in the waffle batter. Well, we wanted to develop a waffle that was sweet that could stand alone without syrup. You know, that's why we added the plantains to it, and it came out really well. We take pride in doing different things here. We don't want to be like other restaurants.
Plátanos and fried chicken and fried food, you can't lose.
It turns out, Red has some very dedicated fans.
I've been eating Reds, probably for over 20 years.
The whole idea of the menu is for somebody to come in 5 days a week, get something different on the menu each time, and hopefully enjoy each item.
Everybody is greeted as soon as they walk in, no matter how busy they are.
Yeah.
You just always feel at home.
The only other food that I eat besides Reds is this person right here. And she makes pretty good chicken and waffles too.
I love to cook. You know, my grandmother brought me in the kitchen when I was 10 years old. And she said, I'm gonna teach you how to cook so you don't have to rely on anyone to take care of you later on in life. Unfortunately for her, I really enjoyed doing it. So she had to show me more and more.
It's made with love.
Made with love.
That's what Red does. Every time I take a bite out of his food, it's like taking a bite out of heaven.
Now we know that they love it, but what does everybody else think? Let's go find out.
It's a good waffle.
I just want to keep eating it.
Spicy chicken with the sweet waffle, and it's a really nice combination.
Really sweet, doesn't really need maple syrup or anything.
We keep going back for bites, so it's good.
Bro, it's real good.
It's made with a lot of love.
I know you cook with love. I can see it, I can feel it, and I can taste it.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
So much.
So most people think that chickens lay eggs every day, but how often do they really lay? Find out after the break.
Coming up, I'm making watermelon poke at Root in Spokane.
I'm gonna cut the tips of my glove off.
It's a sacrifice we all make.
No.
Losing your fingertips for pretty garnish.
And we're in the kitchen at Second Harvest trying out some pasta fazool.
So chickens lay eggs every 26 hours, but it totally depends on the breed. So some lay eggs 5 days a week, some lay eggs 1 day a week.
We're back at Root in Spokane. Here, plant-based options and a unique menu create an experience for every walk of life.
You know, some food just tastes good no matter what, whether you're vegan or not.
And this is one of those dishes. It's just very tasty.
When we decided to do a completely plant-based menu, I was like, I kind of feel like I'm starting over from scratch.
Co-owner and chef Josh Lorenzen started in fine dining, entering the plant-based world when he and his partners started Root.
I realized that it's actually no different. The creativity is the same, except for it's even heightened because I now have to just omit ingredients that I kind of would rest on and say, oh, I know how to do this. This is in my back pocket. I can do this. Now I have to come up with a new way to do it. I look back and kind of laugh. I'm like, you've always known how to cook, man. Like, this is no different. And I think a lot of people look at plant-based eating as untouchable. You'd have to go to a restaurant to get it, when really you can do these things at home.
I've never had anything like it. I love it. It's not, you gotta try it.
You wouldn't believe the amazing flavors. And hey, it's healthy. Who doesn't like that?
Well, what are you and I gonna make today?
Today we're working on watermelon poke.
Really?
Yeah, so basically it's just like a traditional poke dish, but minus the tuna. It's made with watermelon. We're gonna cut it up and marinate it and cook it for a little while, and that kind of changes the texture of the watermelon. Yeah. Comes out looking and tasting similar to regular poke.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's a good looking watermelon.
It is. I think it sounds good. It's got some nice hollowness to it. It looks pretty. And
so if you, can I knock on it?
You got.
I'm gonna knock on it. Oh, okay, yeah.
We start by cutting the watermelon in half and dicing it into small squares.
That is the one downside to the watermelon part about it is that fish does not have seeds, so it's very obviously not fish. So what we're gonna do next here is we're gonna marinate this watermelon.
Well, that is a big bowl.
Yes, it is. This is just a really simple marinade. It's like a soy base with ginger and garlic and sesame oil, but we're gonna go ahead and lather some of that on here, and we're gonna reserve the rest of it though for after the fact.
Okay. Watermelon being cooked is just gonna fall apart.
You know, it's actually quite the opposite, and I thought the same thing when I heard this. I was like, this is a crazy idea. I've never heard of cooking watermelon. It kind of breaks down the cells, and all the water and things that kind of give it its textured look end up collapsing, and so it becomes more
dense.
It looks more dense and kind of more chewy.
We cook the watermelon on a flat pan at 400 degrees. Next, we start making some green onion curls.
We have a little ice bath here. What we're gonna do is cut these up into some thin little strips, then we put them in the ice bath, and then it kind of makes them all curl up. And then they're gonna sit all nice in our dish.
Because I'm gonna cut the tips of my glove off.
It's a sacrifice we all make.
I know.
Losing your fingertips for pretty garnish.
Now it's time to check on the watermelon. We drain the liquids off and put some more marinade on it.
So this is it.
It is. This is the finished product.
It looks like a chunky tomato almost.
Yeah.
The color and everything.
Yeah, it definitely gets a little deeper red after it cooks.
We start by making a rice ball out of jasmine rice. Then we wrap it in nori. Next comes the ginger guacamole.
And you can do this however you want. This is the most fun about this dish is that it can change every time and look different every time. It's the components and the color that really makes it look special.
Next, we add carrots, the watermelon, pickled cucumbers, some sriracha aioli, and finally some black sesame seeds.
And voila, we have a finished watermelon poke dish. Wonderful, cold, fresh summer treat.
The texture of the watermelon is amazing.
It's
like
nice,
you wouldn't think that.
It looks complicated and looks fancy, but it's really
no,
not.
You're right.
It's simple.
It's all fresh ingredients.
Yeah, it's just about how you go about plating.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so good.
To get the recipe for Root's watermelon poke, visit wagrown.com.
I'm atop the Samish Overlook in the beautiful Skagit Valley located in northwestern Washington. From here, I can see the waters of the Puget Sound and farmland for miles and miles. I'm talking with Blake Vanfield to learn more about this fertile valley.
What you're looking at is the Samish Delta, which is extraordinarily fertile. The top 2% of soils in the world rest right there. And with that, we have 90,000 acres of farmland that's sandwiched between Seattle and Vancouver, BC.
Genuine Skagit Valley. That sounds pretty awesome in itself, just that name. So tell me about that name and tell me what you guys do.
The beginning of Genuine Skagit Valley came about in 2013 when the Washington State Department of Commerce designated this area as an innovation partnership zone. And with that, a multi-stakeholder group of private and public partnerships, including WSU and research, to farmers, food processors, came together to help shape an innovative strategy to increase the visibility and recognition of Skagit ag product. 98% of these farms here are family owned. We have farmers that are 6 generations deep, and we also have a very important and growing cluster of new farmers that has found collaboration, community, and support here. If you think about some of the other point of origin brands across the US, Napa comes to mind, Willamette Valley, Fraser, those take time. And so give us a year, give us 5, give us 10. And so right now we're beginning to see the Genuine Skagit certification mark on products. So that is just beginning to roll out. But again, it takes time.
Give me just a quick rundown of some of the products that are grown here in Skagit Valley.
Oh boy, okay. So we've got 80. This could take a while. You know, of course, some of the most easily recognizable ones, tulips. This county produces more bulbs than any other in the US. Potatoes are a very important crop. The berries, seed production, and then also a wide variety of vegetables. And there is now a fantastic momentum spearheaded by the Bread Lab and WSU with wheat production.
You're off to a great start. So what's next for Genuine Skagit Valley?
Right now we are concentrating on our local community, and then the following year expanding that to Puget Sound, and beyond that it's the nation. And ultimately we hope to see worldwide recognition of what's grown here.
Coming up, Tomas is learning how farmers and conservationists are working together to improve water use.
Our farmlands are the vital part of salmon habitat restoration.
If you're like me in the garden, sometimes you get so wrapped up in what you're doing, you forget to take notes of what you planted and where. You have the best record keeper imaginable right in your pocket, your phone. So all you need to do is just take photos of what you planted and where. You can lay your seed packets down next to where you planted so that you remember what it was you planted. That way you have a timestamp and a record of when you planted and what it was. This is also a great way to keep track over the course of the season of how things did in your garden. So you want to make sure that you're growing things over the next year that are productive. These are 2 seed varieties that I got from Washington State seed growers, and you guessed it, you can purchase them on your phone. So while you're out in the garden, if you think, I wish I had this, just take a second and order it. So another way that you can use your phone in the garden is to join a local gardening group on social media. You can get a lot of questions answered that way. You have a lot of expertise and other beginning gardeners on there as well. There are several plant ID apps available online as well. If you download one of those on your phone, all you need to do is take a snap of what's in your garden and it can ID what that is. At the end of the year, you go through your photo gallery and you have a record there of everything that you planted and what did well. What's great about that is you can go through it and pick for next year, and at the end of the year you have a photo gallery that's beautiful.
Water is essential to all living things, and Lynden, Washington gets plenty of it. 40 to 50 inches of rain per year. The timing of the water, too much in spring, not enough in summer, is bringing conservationists and farmers together to solve the problem.
I'm Greg Eby, a seed potato grower. I'm actually a 3rd generation seed potato grower. The issue becomes in the summer months. We're getting less rainfall and there's much more demand for the water. With crop irrigation, people are outside and more active and using more water, but also it's a critical time for salmon. Salmon are returning to spawn, so there needs to be adequate flow in our streams also for salmon and other wildlife.
For right now, we're looking at these beautiful baby reds. So what was the change that you made to them?
We're probably watering less now than with some of our overhead methods with drip irrigation, and maintaining optimum moisture rather than irrigating and having it too wet, cycle too dry.
Farmers are collaborating with their local conservation districts to learn more about how they can improve their water use for their farms and for the salmon.
I'm Annika Sweeney, the Education Outreach Coordinator for Whatcom Conservation District, and we are standing on the side of Fish Trap Creek right now in the city of Lynden. Over the last 5 years, we've increased the amount of farmers that are using our programs and services by 20-fold. We used to have just a handful of farmers come in, and now we have hundreds a year that are seeing us as a resource, seeing us as a trusted source of information, and recognizing that the research that we do and the farm planning that we do is really vital.
A lot's being done on salmon restoration. We're planting buffers and developing riparian zones, converting from surface water, which has a direct impact to our streams, to groundwater, moving to more efficient methods of irrigation.
Greg says one of the changes farmers made was beginning to move away from the primary method of overhead sprinklers to underground drip irrigation.
Oh yeah, look at that. I imagine though there's got to be challenges that might prevent people from doing this though, right?
Yeah, it's pretty labor intensive getting it all set up. It is much more expensive cost per acre, but we hope to recover that in yield and quality.
One example of how farmers and conservation districts are working together is by applying new technology to old floodgates.
They were exactly that. They were to keep floods out. They were primarily closed and really prevent any fish passage back and forth. So now with this new technology, they're mostly open, and then there's a float system on it that triggers them to close so that if a flood were to come, it would be protecting that upstream habitat. And that is like brilliant technology that is really going to be a huge change in the Nooksack River ecosystem.
I wholly believe that agriculture is the most compatible land use for salmon recovery.
Our farmlands are the vital part of salmon habitat restoration. And as we look to the future, the preservation of large tracts of land along our critical creeks, like agriculture, is going to be vital.
We are in the kitchen at Second Harvest Food Bank, and we are tasting some recipes from allrecipes.com. And I've got my tasters here with me today. I have my co-host Tomas and Laurent, who is a local restaurant owner. Fleur de Sel is his restaurant, and he's a chef, a French chef, and we just love to have him here and share his chef expertise on some of these recipes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's fun to have you. We are talking about maybe comfort food.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah. It's kind of what makes you happy.
For me, comfort food brings you back to your youth. You know, it's what mom's made. It's you know, it brings back to your memories, your good food memories.
Right.
And, you know, I remember some stews, some rabbit stews with polenta, some gnocchi, you know, some very heavy, rich food.
Different growing up in France
than
it is in America. So this next recipe that we're going to share with you is pasta fazool, or pasta
fagioli.
Yes. So this is by Chef John, and Chef John says this classic Italian-American comfort food works with any kind of sausage. So it's a hearty soup that's fast and easy to put together. I like that. Hearty, fast, and easy. All right, so let's find out how we make it. This looks delicious and hearty.
Perfect for the time of year that we're eating this right now.
Right, so let's try it.
Bon appétit, or
yes.
Bon appetito.
Right, bon appetito. That's really flavorful.
I love the
sausage
Swiss chard in it.
And just enough pepper flakes to just say hi, let you know there's a little tiny heat, but nothing that's going to knock your socks off.
Not much.
I like the mix of pasta and beans.
Oh, I do too. I think it's a very good combination. I would maybe also, if you're not too afraid, use dry beans, you know, instead of a can. Makes it's a little longer, but it's also a little, I think, better as far as the flavor if you have dry beans, homemade dry beans,
Sure.
you know.
Different colored beans if you wanted to just kick up the presentation a bit with some reds and stuff like that. But overall, man, this is delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. Some of the comments from allrecipes.com. Sabota says, I made it straight for the first time. And then the second time Sabota made it, substituted kale for the chard and leeks for the onion.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
Right.
It's
Delicious.
perfect, very comfort food. You can see yourself with a nice loaf of bread, a glass of wine, the fireplace going, and just cozy. That's comfort. That's beautiful.
A beautiful scene right there.
Yeah.
Take
I
us
like
there.
it. I like it. So pasta vazzoule by Chef John. How do we say delicious? Delicio. Or
Delicioso.
Delicioso.
This is really good.
Thank you.
Grazie mille.
To get the recipe for pasta vazzoule, visit wagrown.com.
Innovation in agriculture is happening all around us here in Washington. The next time you get a chance to talk to a farmer, ask them what's new. Chances are you're going to be really surprised. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. We'll see you next time.